Hey guys, this is Coach Austin here from the Coach's Compound, here to add a video portion to the past two podcasts that I have shot, both of which are on the Apple Podcast app, the Anchor app. I do believe they're also on the Google Play for whatever the podcast is for Android users, because I'm an iPhone user. But these two podcasts are going over the aspect of what is a coach and what it truly means to be a coach to someone else. So if you are watching this, you're probably someone that is interested in coaching, is a coach, and I believe that this information can literally change the way that you coach forever. So the first question is, what is a coach? What is the definition of a coach? And this takes us back to the 5th century, I believe, in Vienna, Hungary. Not Vienna, Hungary. In a town called Coach. And what these people in the town Coach did was they created a new type of carriage system that would be very high class. It had suspension on it so that when you'd go over a rocky terrain on a path or on the old school roads, it would be a more comfortable ride, a faster ride than the previous carriages. So these became very well known amongst Europe and that area of the top class carriage systems, then therefore became known as a coach. Something that took a very high valuable person, a VIP, if you may, from point A to point B in the fastest, the most comfortable, in the most efficient way possible. And when you think about that definition of a coach, and then you think about how you view yourself or how we view coaches, it makes sense. I mean, that is literally what we're doing. What do your athletes or your business people or whoever you're working with, what do they want? They want to achieve a goal. And what is this goal? It is the point B. They want to get from where they are to wherever they want to be in the fastest, most efficient, best way possible. That's why they have you. So knowing the definition, the true definition of what a coach is, then makes you think of, okay, how can I do that job? How can I be the carriage system from where they are to where they want to be in the best way possible? Then also what I did was on my Instagram, I put up a survey asking what the most important attribute of a coach is. And the majority of people, which of course people have already pointed out to me, with any kind of review or any kind of survey, it's going to be dependent on the sample size, blah, 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 blah. You understand that people that I've interacted with, people that know me, that probably answered this survey. But what they said was that out of being knowledgeable, experienced, just a good person, or passionate literally got double or more than all the rest of them. So that made me dive into the idea, so I know what a coach is, but also we need to look into why is this passion, this aspect of passion so important when it comes to coaching. So if we look back to the word passion, the true roots of passion, this would be going back to the 12th century Christians actually referring back to Jesus Christ, who, if you don't know, in the story in the Bible, what I also believe is that Jesus Christ laid down his life for a cause of what he believed would be the love of God for all people through him and through his death. So he knew what he was about, and then he was willing to die for it, and he did die for it so that whoever believes in him would have life. So in the 12th century Christians were referring back to Christ and also his disciples who, because of also believing that, lost their lives. They're referring back to the idea of you have such a deep conviction and love for something that you would literally be willing to die, to take persecution, to take hatred for whatever it is. So in our modern diction, modern vocabulary, passion is usually thought to of just the love of something, which is not wrong. It's not wrong. But we need to realize is it's just so much more. Okay, I love that you love CrossFit. But when you say you're passionate about CrossFit, tell me, are you willing to suffer? Are you willing to suffer for the sake of CrossFit? The answer is completely dependent on you. Most people that have done CrossFit long enough or they've kind of explored the different aspects of CrossFit, you've probably suffered, maybe not in the way of you're gonna die, but suffered. When you're on that second mile in Murph, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So what we need to do is to think about, okay, so we know what a coach is, and we've also asked the people, and I would agree, that passion is probably one of the most important aspects of a coach, because if you love something so much that you are willing to lay yourself aside to get whoever it is, the VIP from point A to point B, you would do literally anything to do that job. Okay? There's no longer the aspect of, I'm a part-time coach. There's no such thing as a part-time coach. There could be a part-time trainer, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in my opinion, if you've watched, I made one of my first videos was about the difference between a trainer and a coach. A trainer is someone who simply trains someone, which is great. But then there's a coach. A coach is what we just went over. Take someone from point A to point B the best, most efficient, safest, whatever way possible. They would literally lay themselves aside to do their job. Okay? So let's use me as an example. I do love CrossFit. Love it. I think it's phenomenal. But when I think about CrossFit, and I have, in my opinion, suffered for the sake of CrossFit. But when I think about CrossFit in and of itself, that's not exactly what I'm passionate about. If you put a gun to my head right now and said, stop coaching CrossFit, or I'm going to kill you, persecute you, your family, whoever, I would be like, later, see you, Greg Glassman, I'm done. But if you asked me to stop educating, to stop coaching people, fire away. I'm sorry, I can't. I have such a deep conviction and love for taking someone from where they are to where they want to be that I'm sorry, I can't stop. I can't. And that takes us back to the idea of what is your why? You've heard this all over the place, Instagram things, what is your why? But in this why, it is the reason that you get up in the morning. It is the reason that you are the way that you are. Some people might get up in the morning to do their WOD or to do their 5 WODs, to coach a class. But only you can answer that. And one thing that's very, very important is for you to understand your why. Because when you find your why, your true why is something that you are willing to suffer for, to die for. And it's only when you find which I can't tell you what it is, which you are willing to suffer for, what you are willing to die for, that you can truly look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I am willing to live for this. Okay? If you can't figure out what you're willing to die for, to suffer for, I'm sorry, but you probably don't know what you're living for either. So it's very important for you to think about this. Put your phone down, stop this video, whatever it has to do, and think about, oh crap, man, this is kind of serious. I mean, you can see how serious I am about this because I'm tired of just the trainer aspect of things. I'm tired of just being viewed as a trainer. I'm sure you are as well. We are so much more. You should think of yourself as so much more. Way bigger deal than you think that is. Because we have the direct ability to influence people's lives. And at that point, it's going to be very important that you actually do so. If you're not willing to do so, get out. That's completely okay. It's up to you. Or just keep being a trainer. Once again, perfect. Well, if you've ever made videos before, you've probably experienced this. My phone just died, got rid of the rest that I was talking about, but that's okay because you get the gist of things. So at this point, I want you to really think about things, okay? View yourself, look into yourself. Don't be afraid of it. Get control of here, and then you can work outwards as well. Okay? As a coach, we're here to make changes to people's lives. Be willing to change your own life as well. Remember that this is for you, this is for me, this is for education. If you are a coach in anything, it doesn't have to be fitness, reach out to me. We'll get you on the podcast, we'll make a video, and we'll educate other coaches. Okay? This is not just about getting the person from point A to point B that needs to lose weight and needs to make money. This is about educating other coaches that can then educate more and more people, okay? That's how the law of attraction works. I teach you, you teach him, he teaches her, she teaches 50 more people, it goes on to millions of people after that. That's how education in the world works, how true change works. Don't be afraid of it, embrace it, be in the forefront of it, okay? So reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, if you want to teach something, if you're passionate about something, and we'll get you involved in this awesome project. Thank you guys for watching, and remember, stop searching, start coaching.